In this question, we are told about Uwezo Bank Limited. You're presented with the trial balance there and additional information, and you're required to prepare the statement of comprehensive income as well as the statement of financial position. Okay, so let's proceed. Start by looking at our outline of our answer. Remember, this is the same as the statement of P&L, yeah? So we start by first looking at our interest income. What do we have under interest income? Just come and pick them here. You can see interest income. However, there was a note that amended that. Let's just check number one. Number one says interest expense accrued and not been accounted for, while interest on loans and advances had not been recorded. So this 272 is one that we are interested in. So this 272 on loans and advances needs to be added to this one, yeah? Plus 272 there. So let's post these. Loans and advances. 21,231 plus 272, which basically gives us 21,503. And then we have government securities, which is 29,59. And then we have on placements 436, which when I add gives me 24,898. After that, I come to my interest expense. So my interest expense, again, I just go and pick them here. We have on customer deposits, 8013, and placements from other banks, 297. However, remember that note 1 had mentioned that there was an interest expense accrued that had not been accounted for, which was 150 million, and it is on customer deposits, meaning I have to add it to this one here. I have to say plus 150 million there. So let's just note those down. Interest expense on customer deposits. And on placements. So when I add these, I get 8460. My net interest income is now 16,438. After that, I can now come and have my other income. What are the figures that we have for other income? So we quickly check. So you can see there's fees and commissions income. There is forex income. What else do we have on the credit side? That is an income. Nothing else on the trial balance. Let's look at the notes. We can note from number 2 that you're given that the financial assets are classified as follows. So we have the book values here, which give me a total of 30,000, and we have the fair values here, which is 34,000. So we realize that there is a fair value gain, isn't it? Which should be taken to P&L. So that one also needs to be factored in. So under other income, I have fees and commissions. I have forex gain, forex income, and I have fair value gains. So forex income, fees and commissions, add all of these. Then we have other OPEX. What do we have under other OPEX? So let's see. We have operating expenses 6118. Then we have the loan impairment loss, which is 999. You can see there. Any other there? None. Let's look at the notes and see any expenses. You can see note number 3 is saying that a further allowance of 48.5 is to be provided, meaning that 48.5 needs to be added to this 999. Yeah. So those are the only other operating expenses. Gives me, so when I solve for that, what do I get as being my net profit? $16,024.5. Okay, very simple. The second part of the question asks us to prepare the statement of financial position. So here all we do is we pick all those items that are assets. And what are the assets that we have? Cash with central bank, you can see it. That can be my first. Government securities will be my second. Financial assets is not so bad, but let's see whether there is any other. Yes, I noticed there is this placement from other banks that is more liquid, so probably should be number 3. And then comes in the financial assets, which can be number 4. And then loans and advances can be 5. PPE can be 6. And then intangible are the least liquid. They can be number 7. So can now come and post this. So start with cash from with CBK. Government securities. Placements with other banks. Then you have financial assets. So with financial assets, you have to ensure that you take the fair values, which we got from note number 2. Yeah. So we take the closing valuation here of 34. Then we have loans and advances. Now loans and advances poses a slight challenge. What do we have as loans and advances? We can see that the amount from the TB is 119,200. However, there were adjustments to that number. Let's go through the notes and see. What are we told? We are told that there was an interest on loans that had not been recorded, this 272, which should increase our loans. And then there's a further allowance of 48, which also needs to be factored in to reduce the loans. So this gives us 119,423.5. Property, plant and equipment gives us 89.24. Then finally, intangible assets, the 88. Let's add them up. I'm getting 215.99.5. Now we come to capital and liabilities. So share capital, just come and pick it. Where is share capital? Here it is. We also have share premium and retained earnings. There is no dividend, so share capital is 4,200. Share premium 35.80. Retained earnings, so we take the one that we have, and to this we add the profits that we got from our P&L, which is 16,024.5. It gives you a total of 39,957.5. Add them up, 47,737.5. Then we come to liabilities. And the liabilities, what are the liabilities that we have? Again, starting with the most liquid. So the most liquid is customer deposits, so that will be the first one. And then followed by placements from other banks will be the second one. And then borrowed funds can be number 3. And then the retirement benefits obligation can be number 4. Okay. Now, has any of them been adjusted by the notes? And the answer is yes. Note number 1 mentioned that the interest expense on accrued customer deposits and not accounted for amounted to 150 million. So this 150 million goes on to increase the liability. So to this one, we must add 150. So let's just note those down. Customer deposits, 162,300 plus 150 gives you, let's just have it here, 162,450. Then we have placements from other banks, 1065. Then we have borrowed funds, 4572. And then we have retirement benefit liability, 175. It gives me 168,262, which when I add to this 47 gives me 215,999.5. And is that number in balance? Yes, it is in balance with my total assets, and that brings me to an end of this simple question.